You're live. Okay, I usually have this over here just to keep things consistent. Okay, hi. Hello, everyone. It is I are smart. And, yeah. So, today, I'm gonna talk about Andor, because I considered making a video. I considered making a video and just, like, giving my thoughts on it, editing in, like, some scenes and whatnot. But then I realized that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that because I'm already working on editing another video for the Dark channel, and that's taking up a lot of time. And so yeah, here we are. I figured I can just share my thoughts on this live stream because it'd be easier, and then I can like live discuss with you guys. So that'll be more fun, I think. Because I mean, all I really need to do is just talk. That's what I like to do is talk about Andor. What am I gonna do? Edit it all into a nice video? Pretend that's gonna get views? Nah. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about Andor season 2. First of all, yeah, spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers in this live stream. All right. Why is it buffering so much? Okay, no, maybe it's not. It says excellent connection. I don't know. Hello, Michael Verdon. Hello, good to see you. So yeah, is the connection good? It looked like it was buffering there. Is it fine? It has been a while. Yeah. So Andor season 2. There is gonna be spoilers. So if you haven't seen Andor season 2, I highly encourage you to watch Star Wars Andor. But if for whatever reason you don't care, then I guess you can just listen to me talk if you really want to. I'm gonna be spoiling. I'm gonna talk about the big spoilers and stuff. Let's see. Croco Ninja says Anderson 2 is a 9 out of 10. I don't want to say that yet. I know it's really good. Andor is incredibly good. It's very, very good. I don't want to like start saying, oh, it's the best Star Wars yet, because like we've gotten 3 episodes, man. All right, we only have 3 episodes yet. They were good. They were very good. I think already a lot of things are better than season 1. But on the other hand, it's in some ways it's like I think they kind of went a bit more fast pace, which I think is partly because they had originally planned to do more seasons and they're condensing it all down into one final season. So I think that's part of it. But yeah, my main thing is just it seemed very fast paced. It was a bit harder to keep up, whereas season 1 was more slow burn. I think I think for some people they'll like it a lot more this season, whereas season 1 was more slow. It took its time, but this one more stuff is happening already because we've already established a lot in season 1. So on the one hand, I think that fast pace is good. I think a lot more people will enjoy it. A lot of people who weren't as big a fan of season 1 will probably enjoy season 2 more. But on the other hand, there is the risk that we're going to alienate some of the people who really liked all the stuff in season 1 if season 2 leans more into the action that it seems like it's going with. Especially because we're going to be doing more Rebel stuff now. That's obviously going to lead to more, Rebels versus Empire, probably some big fights. So it seems to me that the show will keep up its same quality of writing and characters and all that. Like, it definitely seems like it did that in the premiere. But still, I think big stuff is going to happen later. I think we're going to see the biggest, coolest stuff. I'm just hoping it doesn't detract from what made Andor so good in the first place, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, and the thing Star Wars 3 said, I don't really want to mention him too much. Everyone's been bullying him enough for his awful take that he made recently about Andor. Yeah, for those of you who didn't see, he said something really silly. Something really silly related to a scene that happened in episode 3. That's just, anyway. Too many characters, I don't remember 80% of people's names. Yeah, it is tough. I'm only just now remembering that, like, I think Tay is the name of that guy that Mon Mothma, like, he was in season 1. But I didn't even remember his name until, like, they said it enough times in season 2. I'm like, alright, his name is Tay. I still don't know what Mon Mothma's husband's name is. I know her daughter is, Lyra, and I don't know what her like, the guy she has to marry her daughter off to, like, I don't know what that kid's name is, and I don't know what his dad's name is, the guy that Mon Mothma doesn't like. So, there is a lot of names to remember, and I'm already bad with names. But, like, still, I like when the show started, I was like, oh, look, there's Val, and there's Luthen, and there's Layla, and there's all the other characters. And then, like, they're all showing up. So, that was pretty cool. But yeah, there is a lot of characters. Yeah, there's a lot you gotta remember. And also the conversations are very dense. Like, especially the stuff with Mon Mothma. They're, like, talking, like, you have to kind of know what they're implying and whatnot. Like, so they were talking about a number, and I'd have to watch it again. They were like, oh, what's the number? What's the number? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what's this number you're talking about. My guess is that they were talking about Tay being broke, I think. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, Let's see. I'm gonna get into some stuff now. Let's talk about that first episode. I think it was a very strong episode. I think it was very good, very good, very good start off episode. So, yeah, I like the TIE Avenger. It was very cool. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, TIE Avenger. It's apparently something from Legends, and they made it, but it's like a cool. It's like a prototype, I guess, to this thing, the TIE Interceptor behind me. Can you see it? That thing. I love that thing. Anyway, it's like a more advanced version of that or something. I don't know. Does the I'm not sure if the TIE Interceptor exists at this point yet. Like Trilla flies around in one in Jedi Fallen Order, but supposedly that's kind of breaks canon because that's not supposed to exist until after the Battle of Yavin. So I don't know. It's confusing. But I mean, the TIE Avenger is different than the TIE Interceptor. They just look similar. So anyway, what else was I gonna say? So yeah, I like that. There was also some other cool stuff. Like there was those TIE Advanced flying around, which was like from Star Wars Rebels. And they had range troopers, really cool. They have like these big coats. I love those guys. They were like very briefly in Solo. So to have them show up again was cool. Because they made this cool character design and then just never used it again. So I'm glad they're using it again. So, gotta be like a top 10 Stormtrooper variant. I love those guys. But on a more serious note, I really, really liked the interaction between Andor and that scientist girl who was helping him steal the TIE Fighter. That was really cool. How he was like reassuring her. And she was like, you can tell she was really nervous, but like, him just being like, hey, it's all in. The Empire can't win. We got to be all in. And she's like, all right. And he really got her into there. So I hope we see more of her. My prediction is that like in either the next arc or maybe one later, we're gonna see her like on Yavin as like a rebel working in the rebel base. I think that'd be cool. Or we just have to imply that the Empire killed her, but which is entirely possible because, yeah. But also Sinar, that's cool. We got to see the planet Sinar. That's like. The funny thing about this show, like anytime we watch a Star Wars show, I always watch it with my dad, so I can be like explaining all the Star Wars lore to him. So when it said like Sinar Imperial Facility, I'm like, Sinar Fleet Systems. They make the TIE Fighters, and my dad was just laughing because he just yeah, it's like I know this because I read a Star Wars lore book years and years ago, and then yeah, my dad was just like, of course you know that. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, fair. Anyway, I don't have a Star Wars Andor shirt. I'm a little disappointed. I need to get one. I can't believe I don't have one yet. I have this Star Wars The Last Jedi shirt I put on today, just to really piss people off. But yeah, I don't have a Star Wars Andor shirt, and they made some really cool ones. Like, have you seen like the posters and like the promotional materials for this season? They are making some really cool designs. Like even just the picture I used in the thumbnail for this live stream, really cool. I love the design of that. Their graphic designers are cooking really hard. Anyway. Anyway. What am I going to say next? So we had a really cool opening sequence, you know, Andor escaping in the TIE Avenger. Very cool. And then Krennic. Krennic is back. And have I ever told you guys how much I think Krennic is a cool character? Like, he's obviously a bad guy, but he's just so cool. They gave him this cape. He has this, like, aura around him. He's just so cool, guys. Like, so to see him back is really cool. Obviously, he's doing something with the Death Star, but just, like, it's funny because I took a college class where we talked about project management and like, you know, sometimes a business or an organization will get a group of people together to work on a project and they'll look for solutions. They'll go through all these steps. But they were doing that and they were just like planning for, they're like, hey, there's this planet. We need to steal all the resources from it, but we're not sure how the people are going to react. So we got all of you together to just figure that out. So in case we have to like, you know, get rid of all of them, displace them, kill all of them, whatever. We got all you people together to figure it out, which is just, it's funny to me, but it's also terrifying. I think that's a good, they got the Empire right in that sense, I think. Because the Empire is obviously supposed to be evil, right? I know, crazy, the guy wearing a Stormtrooper helmet who says that the Empire is evil, but obviously that's what they're supposed to be narratively. But they're also supposed to be kind of funny in a sense. Like, I think they got that in Season 1. We have like this big boardroom of guys in a circle in the ISB, all just like talking about stuff and like, oh, we gotta do all this and this. I don't know. There's a lot more I could say to it, but it's just there's a certain way the Empire is supposed to be funny, and it isn't Stormtroopers tripping over themselves. That's all I want. That like you can make them funny without making them incompetent. Their incompetence should be more of like a just a high level sort. I don't know what I'm talking about, man. It's just. There are ways to make the Empire scary and funny at the same time, but it's a delicate balance, and I think Andor does it the best out of any Star Wars thing I've seen. That's all I'll say. Dark scenes sometimes make movies interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. Andor is more of a mature show. That's the more vibe it's going for. But it does have bits of levity, too, is the thing. Especially more, like, in these first 3 episodes, I noticed a lot more moments of humor, of levity, of just jokes, which were present in Season 1. There were definitely plenty of times you could laugh in Season 1, more early on. But yeah, I definitely noticed more leaning into comedy and stuff, which Rogue One had a lot of that. I imagine once K2SO shows up in the show, we'll have more. He's essentially a comic relief character, so I'm curious to see if they'll use him the same way they did in Rogue One, where he really is just there for jokes, or if we'll have a bigger point in the plot as well. So, not that he wasn't big in the plot in Rogue One, he had a really impactful death, but yeah, man, I can't wait till the show is over so I can watch Rogue One again. Like I could do that now, but I want to wait till all the episodes of Andor are out. And then I'm going to watch Rogue One again. It's going to be amazing. Anyway. So yeah. Also, another thing I'd like to say. I found that the characters around Mon Mothma in Season 1 were almost a bit underdeveloped. Like, we got to see, like, her family life, you know, her husband and her daughter. We got to see them every once in a while, but the focus was more on her, and they were just kind of there. Whereas with this, going into the whole wedding subplot, it really focused more on them and got to develop those characters more, which I thought was good. I still don't remember what half their names were, but it was cool. I like that we get to see more of her world and the Chandrillan culture. It was really interesting, I thought. Let's see. Episode 2. The thing is, I thought Episode 1 was actually the best out of the 3. I thought Episode 2 was kind of and Episode 3 also pretty good. But I definitely think Episode 1 was the strongest. It just had a lot more going for it overall. But yeah, 2 and 3 were still good. They were still very good. It's just if I had to pick one, I would say Episode 1 so far is the best episode of Season 2. Oh, Tim's here. Hi, Tim. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see. Oh, another thing I want to mention. The sets. The sets they built were so cool, dude. Like, there's so many times where I was looking at it, I'm like, is this all, like, a set that they built? Like, it looks like they could have just easily, you know, done a CGI thing. And there was still a bunch of CGI, but, like, with, like, The Mandalorian, they just put everything on that volume, that big TV screen. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the behind the scenes for The Mandalorian, but they use this thing called the volume. And same for Ahsoka and some other shows. And it looks cool, but you start to notice it after a while, it's like, oh, they're just using the volume, and it looks kind of lazy. But with Andor, specifically in Season 1, they built a lot of really cool sets. And this, they kind of they took it up a notch, I think. Like, the Chandrillan sets were beautiful. I loved those sets. Really cool, these environments, people walking around. Like, very opulent, very, kind of castle manor vibe. I don't know, very cool, very cool. I love those. And just, man, the sets were just good. I don't know what else to tell you. It was very cool to see. So if I Air Smart, do you like Season 1 or 2 better? I mean, that's hard to say, because there's only 3 episodes of Season 2. I overall think, Season 1 is a very good package altogether, and I think it's just still very good. Whereas Season 2, I think, is leaning into a few different things, but also doing things a bit differently. But it's really hard to say this early on, so I don't know. I'll be able to tell by the end, I think, which one I prefer. But I could see it going either way. I could definitely see this being the best season ever of any Star Wars thing, which is what the critics are saying. But on the other hand, I could also see it deviating a bit from what made Season 1 so great. So I don't know. Let's see, what else? Oh, I thought it was kind of funny where they had all those rebels infighting on the planet, the jungle planet, where they were just kind of like all like mad at each other, and then it was just revealed that they were all rebels working with Andor, but they just got mad at each other, and then they started fighting each other. It made sense, because like at this point, there would, in the rebellion, there would be a lot of infighting. There would be a lot of, young, angry people getting mad at each other. It makes sense. It was thematically, it made sense. I thought it went on a little long, but it was still pretty cool. And, yeah, it was very cool, I thought. And then the especially cool was the reveal that they were on Yavin 4 the whole time. Obviously, they're going to build a rebel base there. So that was a cool reveal. Yes, there is Star Wars music in the background. Closed on Sunday, lo-fi mix. I have this. I usually use this for live streams and videos. It's just very good. Check out the channel, Closed on Sunday. Makes a lot of cool lo-fi songs, and I can use them in videos. So it's very cool. What happens in Andor? It's okay if you spoil it. That's what we're doing right now. I'm just talking about the episodes. Um, oh, there was a wedding. So it was kind of set. It was set up at the end of season one, but Mon Mothma has to have her daughter be wedded to this son of this other rich guy, so that they can keep laundering money for the rebellion. And the really interesting thing about that is obviously arranged weddings kind of suck, and we kind of see that through Mon Mothma, she obviously must have been in an arranged wedding with her husband because the two of them don't really like each other, and so now she's having to watch her daughter go through an arranged marriage and see the same struggles. So I think that's really cool, but also it's very creepy, and it's just like, oh, I don't know. I like that they showed the Chandrilan culture and had all these different culture elements they drew from. Apparently they were speaking a mix of like Scottish and Irish, which is cool because Genevieve O'Reilly is Irish. But yeah, it's just I like that they draw from different cultures, but also made it very like you can tell that Chandrila is a very traditional culture. They have very old traditions and things that they do. They're very particular about them, and you especially see that in their wedding culture. This is coming from someone who studied, like, I took one class in cultural anthropology, and now that's all I think of. Like, different cultures and their weddings and how they do things. So, I don't know. Anthropology, it's cool. You should check it out. George Lucas was, like, studied that in college, and that's, like, a whole, like, very important part of Star Wars is understanding different cultures of the world. So, there you go. That's a fun fact for you. Anyway. The whole wedding thing reminded me of the first 40 minutes of whatever The Godfather... Sorta, a wedding is the backstop where character stuff goes on. I get what you're saying there. I haven't seen The Godfather, though. That's kind of like one of the things I like. Because of that one joke in the Barbie movie of like, you haven't seen The Godfather? I kind of like have to not watch The Godfather now. Because I just never gotten around to watching it. But now it's like, I think I need to intentionally never watch The Godfather. Because I hear it's amazing. I just need to not watch it now, because I think that'd be really funny. Anyway. What was I gonna say next? So the wedding. Oh, and the music. I like the music this season. I saw some people a bit divisive. Whereas like I think Nicholas Britell did all the music for season 1, and whereas it only credited him as doing the theme song, like theme originally created by him, but they got a different guy doing the music this season. So yeah, I'm like kind of like I like the first guy better, but I don't know. Also, I saw some people complaining like they reused the Niamos, the Beach Planet song, which is just a banger. And then so it's like, I don't know. It's kind of, they reused it at the wedding, and that was kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah, I like talk so long, my voice gets dry. I gotta have my huge water bottle here. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't have too much of a problem with the music. It's just I saw some people saying like, "Oh, the music wasn't as good this season." And I'm like, I don't know. I liked it. Okay, let's talk about like probably my favorite thing this season. So last season, the whole time I was like, man, Dedra and Cyril are like gonna be the best couple. It's gonna be so funny to see them together. Kind of like half joking, but now it's actually real, and I'm so happy it's real. It is exactly what I pictured it. Their relationship is exactly what I thought it would be. What I would be, man. It is the best. Dedra is the breadwinner. She goes out. She owns the house. She gets all the money. She wears the pants in the relationship. All right. Cyril is the house husband. He just stays at home and makes the food in his little apron. And then his mom comes over, and then she's really mean, and then he shrinks away, and he goes and lays on the bed and cries. And then his wife is like, "Hey," well, they're not married, but like, "Hey, you have to stop being mean to your son." And she's like, "Okay, no, you have to stop being mean to your son. All right." He's mine now, all right? And she's like, oh, okay. And then she's all nice to Cyril. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. It was perfect. It was exactly what I imagined it to be. Like she is in charge in that relationship. Like, oh my goodness. Like Cyril definitely calls her mommy, all right? Like that's not even like that's just a fact. All right? Cyril is calling her mommy. Like that it's so funny. It's so funny. And I'm so happy because I made a whole video that was just that joke. And then I turned out to be right, so I don't know. It was amazing. They're just so funny. Anytime the two of them, because it's uncomfortable, but hilarious. I think it's meant to be funny on some level, but also kind of creepy because they're both kind of evil characters. I mean, not necessarily. I would say Dedra is more evil than Cyril, I think. But Cyril's definitely like leans into that and is like, yeah, go Empire. Empire's the best. And he got a promotion. I was actually so happy to see, like, we had the same, because like last season there was a shot that was set up of him like walking down that aisle where all the cubicles are at like the Bureau of Standards or whatever, and like he was being introduced to his new job by this guy, but now he's the guy. He's the guy introducing a new guy to the job and being like, I found this thing in the fuel purity, and then I found a whole scheme, and now I'm at this position. I'm like, you go, man. You go, man. Get your promotion. You deserve it, man. You're the best. I just love to see it. It's so goofy. It's so silly. It's the best. Andor also sounds funny. Okay, to be fair, I'm picking out all of the funny moments to talk about because they're the most interesting ones, like, for discussion, I guess. But, like, really the show doesn't lean into comedy nearly as much. It's just the moments of comedy stand out a lot more because the show is so serious and deals with a lot of mature themes. Kind of like, I don't know if Breaking Bad is a fair comparison. It's fresh in my mind. But, like, I think it does a similar thing where it's like, Breaking Bad is funny. I'd say Breaking Bad has more funny moments than Andor. That could be because of, like, all the memes and whatnot. But still, like, I think Breaking Bad tries to be funny more often than Andor does. But, you know, both of them are more dark, gritty shows. But going for different things. So, I really don't think you can compare the two shows in many ways. But that's just the one that's fresh in my mind. So, can't wait for Cyril to eat cereal with his not gonna anymore. He gets to eat, you know, whatever he wants now. He doesn't have to eat cereal with his mom. He can eat whatever he wants. Or whatever Dedra lets him eat, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, him laying on the bed was so funny. He's just like, excuse me, please. And then when we cut back, he's just laying on the bed, all sad. It's peak funny. Again, I think that moment was intended to be funny, but still, it's just, it was great. Anyway, what's next? Are we on to episode 3 yet? I think so. Okay. Now, going a completely different direction from talking about things that are funny to things that are not at all funny, let's talk about that scene with Bix and that Imperial officer. So, I actually do have some important thoughts on this. So, first of all, we set up in episode 2 that officer was kind of creeping on her, and it was like, oh, it was just uncomfortable, and it was like, oh, I hope they don't do anything else with this. And then episode 3, we obviously had that scene. I don't know how much I can say, because I know YouTube, it doesn't like certain words, so I have to be kind of careful around this subject, and also just it's a subject that I think is important to take seriously and deal with certain importance. I think I can say, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there was a scene where an Imperial officer saw Bix all by herself and was like, oh, she's attractive, and tried to force himself onto her. So I think I can say that without YouTube, giving me a bunch of red flags. So it was a very brutal scene. It was tough to watch because it was gross. It was gross. And but the thing is, that happens in real life all the time, and that's the important thing I think we need to mention, is the Empire represents oppression. The Empire represents so many things, and it can be used to represent so many things, but mainly in Andor, it's used to represent oppression. And I think they show that in so many different ways. So I think the people are saying, oh, well, they shouldn't have had the SA scene. That doesn't make sense. That officer shouldn't do that. I think it's important because that's another form of oppression that exists in our world. That the Star Wars world is supposed to parallel our world. We're supposed to see things in it. So, yeah, I think it's important to have that because it shows the Empire thinks they're untouchable. The Empire thinks they can do whatever they want. Even just random low-level officers are like, oh, I'm in the Empire. I can do whatever I want. Even if there would have been consequences, he still would have tried to do that anyway. Because that's just the position he was in. He wanted that power trip. That's just the kind of terrible person he is. The Empire enables those people to do those things. Systems of oppression have systems in place to allow people to do things like that. And that's the message we're supposed to get from that scene. And they showed it, and it was dark and brutal. And then we also had the great thing that Bix immediately got a revenge on him, which was great. And yeah, like I said, I was surprised she said the word. Also at the beginning, when he was in the TIE Fighter, Andor said the S word again, which is only ever used in Season 1, I think, when what was that guy's name? The funny Scottish guy who was working with Cyril when he was still an officer. I don't know, anyway. So the S word got said, but also now the, can I say R-A-P-E? Can I spell it out? Is that gonna flag it? That's the word, okay? I was surprised they said that word. It did catch me by surprise. I think a lot of other people felt the same. But that is what happened. That's literally what happened, what he was trying to do. So, yeah, it was very serious and heavy scene, and I think it was important that it happened. It makes sense in context, and the people who are saying it shouldn't have happened, I think, are just incorrect. So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with Star Wars 3 at the beginning. he was like, "Oh, that scene shouldn't have happened because Darth Vader would have stopped it." And I'm like, "What? Darth? Huh? What?" First of all, Darth Vader's got a million things going on, and there's so many Imperial officers on so many different levels. So many of them are like, "Oh, I can get away with whatever I want." That's the whole message we're supposed to get from it. Also, why would Vader stop? Like, Darth Vader, famous good guy, stops his officers from doing bad stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. And most of what I've seen is people calling out Star Wars Theory and not agreeing with him on that take. So I don't know. Other than that, I haven't heard much about what he said about Andor season 2. But all things considered, I would think people on that side of the Star Wars fanbase would like this season more because there was more action, there was more stuff going on, and especially I think where this is going, we're going to be getting more action scenes and more Rebel versus Empire stuff. So I think this season is going to appeal more to more Star Wars fans, whereas Star Wars Andor season 1 kind of was, appealed to more a specific type of fan base. I think Andor season 2 is going to have more of a broad appeal. But I do think it still could run the risk of alienating the people who liked it so much in season 1. Anyway. So we talked about that scene. I want to talk about that scene because I think it's important. And again, I think I'm not qualified to talk about it to some extent because of the fact that I am a guy. Like, if I was, like, I think girls should have the floor on this topic as being, like, most often the victims of that. So, and, like, I also don't think with, like, Star Wars Theory saying, like, I don't know. It's just, there's a certain amount of, I have to, like, understand my perspective on the topic, being a guy. And I'm not going to tell you that it's just, so I don't know. I think we should give the floor to the ladies. I don't think there's any watching this stream right now, but like, or on my channel much of any time. But like, we should allow them to speak their mind on this topic more. As typical, it was hard to watch, and I really hate that Imperial officer guy now. I saw one meme saying it was like, Pong Krell has competition for the most hated Star Wars character now with that Imperial officer guy, because you just hate him. Like, as soon as he was on screen and started talking to Bix, I was like, I don't like this guy. This guy's creepy. And then, when that scene happened, it was just like, all right, screw this guy. I'm glad he's dead. He's just the worst. I'm like, I pretend to be an Imperial apologist sometimes, but no, I'm not even gonna do, no. That guy sucked. I hate that guy. Anyway. Another thing I want to talk about. So, there was more action scenes than this. And, more like fighting stormtroopers and whatnot. Stuff that we would see in other Star Wars shows. But it felt more earned in this show. That's something I want to talk about. So, something like in The Mandalorian. They'll, like, have an episode. And, like, everything's contained in the episode. It'll be like, alright, so we're going to go to this Imperial base. We're going to grab this thing. And then we're going to get the thing that leads us into the next episode. So, they go to an Imperial base. They shoot all the stormtroopers. They get the thing they want. And then they leave. And it's like, no issue. The stormtroopers are just there as, like, an obstacle along the way. Whereas in this show, the way they set up the stormtroopers, the bad guys, we see them in the first 2 episodes on the wheat planet. I don't remember what it was called. The planet where they're farming, right? And so we just see them occasionally. They show up, and it's like, oh no, the Empire is here. They represent the Imperial presence on the planet. They are foreign. They stand out. It's in a field of wheat, and the white armor stands out. They are the invaders. The Empire is not supposed to be here. They are invading, right? And they're like they're taking control and whatnot. So we set them up as dangerous. They're a threat. They're something to be worried about. And our characters are very nervous anytime they see them, anytime they're mentioned. Like, our characters are worried about the stormtroopers. So when Andor shows up and flies in with his TIE Avenger and blows them up and fights them, it feels earned. It feels earned because we spent a whole 2 episodes worried, oh no, is the Empire going to get to the characters we care about? Are they going to get there? And then they obviously do. But then Andor comes in and saves them. And then that also leads me to my next point. Brasso dying, very, very sad. I'm very sad because he was such a cool character in season 1. I think it needed to happen though, because of the fact that this season we gotta raise the stakes. We gotta make things serious. Things gotta be real now. Like, he had to die, and it was quick. It was just, and also I like the fact that they didn't really show it. Like, it was kind of like we saw him speeding away, right? And then we saw, like, the stormtroopers shooting at him, and we saw one stormtrooper specifically take aim, which I thought was really cool. Like, crazy thing, we're seeing stormtroopers aim and line up their shots. But anyway, the show respecting stormtroopers is still consistent. It was consistent in season 1, not making them a joke like other shows do. But yeah, like it showed up, and then when we cut back, the next time we see Brasso, it's just Andor running up to him and seeing him lying on the ground, and we're like, what? He got shot? What? And then we're like, no, he's got to be fine. And like we're like we are the audience pleading with Andor at the same time of like, no, please, Brasso can't be dead. He's not dead, right? And then we realize, oh my, like the same time Cassian realizes, we realize, oh my gosh, he's dead. The show sets us up in a very, very good show. This is why I love Star Wars Andor. It just sets up stuff so well. It's not like, I feel like other shows would have just tried to make something really dramatic, like, no, Brasso, he got shot, I'm dying, Cassian, oh no, I'm dying. They would have made it all dramatic and ridiculous, but this show, it's just serious and grounded. He just got shot, and we just find his body. And it hurts. It's so sad. The show just does it so well, and it takes things seriously. It doesn't make things overly dramatic or ridiculous. It takes things seriously. This is why the show feels grounded and just so good. See, this is why I love this show. There's so much you can just glean from, even like these little things. You can just, it's just, there's so much more I could say. I love talking about this show. Okay, sorry guys, I've been talking so much. What have we been saying in chat though? Season 2 definitely more fast-paced, yep. Surprised no one talks about how Clone Wars was bad for putting a scene of a Jedi being tortured. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars Clone Wars definitely had more serious moments, but I think Andor takes it up a notch. It's more serious, whereas Clone Wars definitely has more stuff like I see all the posts like, oh, Clone Wars isn't a kid's show. It's more mature. It's like, sure it is, but like comparing it to like something like Andor, yeah, Andor is like actually mature, actually not meant for kids. It is meant for older adults, right? Older kids and adults. So, yeah. Honestly, I first thought I missed it. It did seem like that. Like the way they set up Brasso's death, it was done very well because it's sudden and because it's scary and because it gets a better reaction out of us. I think it makes it more impactful. Horror movies and purge movies. Yeah, that's something I don't know if we'll ever get for Star Wars. It could be interesting. It's something I've said before, like, we needed a Darth Vader horror movie, and I'm like, that'd just be ridiculous, I think. But leaning into more horror elements, I think could work in some things. I don't know what it would work best in. Like, maybe like a zombie troopers show. I don't know. They tried to make zombies in this Ahsoka show, and it was just ridiculous. So, I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how that would work. I think more of the scary stuff in Andor, like the scene with Bix and the officer, that was scary. That was scary in a different sense. It was scary because it was real. It was scary because that's something we wouldn't expect to see in Star Wars, I guess. And that's, I think, where a lot of people are complaining at it. It seems almost out of place because of how real and scary it is, but that's why I think it's important to be in the show. So, I don't know. It's a different kind of scary, you know? There's, like, different ways that someone can be scary. I mean, that's obviously not horror, but it was scary. Oh, another thing. So Tay. Let's talk about Tay. That was the guy who like always wears blue. He always like gray hair, and he was like constantly getting drunk at Mon Mothma's wedding. Which I mean, yeah, that's what you do at a wedding. You get drunk off their alcohol. but seriously though, like yeah, he was just like saying like I think what he was talking about was the fact that he said something along the line of the rebel activity soured my investments, and also because he said he was split with his wife, and because he's constantly getting drunk. I took that to understand that he's broke. He's running out of money, so Mothma's not going to be able to use him to help fund the rebellion anymore. That also just makes him a liability because he knows about the rebels to some extent, and so that's why I think when we see Cinta flying him away, yeah, he's gonna die. She's gonna kill him. I think that's supposed to be implied what happened there, because Luthen says something to Mon Mothma line like it's my job to take care of this, or I gotta protect you, or how lucky for you that you don't have to worry about it. I forget exactly what he said, but yeah, he says something, and then I think it's implied that when Cinta shows up, she's gonna be the take him out back sort of thing. But there's gonna be a time skip. There's gonna be a time skip before for the next 3 episodes. So it would not surprise me if we just never see Tay again, and it's just implied that he was killed. So that makes sense. Anyway, what was the last thing I had written down? Oh, the last scene. I found it a bit weird because you had like the techno dance music from the wedding playing at the same time we were showing Brasso's dead body, and like I thought that was a bit conflicting and a bit of a weird choice. But I do kind of like how we just see Mon Mothma freaking out. Essentially, like she's essentially having an anxiety attack in the last scene. That's how I interpret it. Because she just like takes one of the drinks and then is just like dancing, and we see her mask slipping. Because the whole thing is like she wears a mask. It's not an actual physical mask like I have, but she wears a mask. She puts on a fake smile. She tries to hide who she really is, and so when we see her on the dance floor, she's just dancing. It's like you can kind of see like on her face she isn't happy, but she's just dancing around and trying to look like she's happy. It's just I thought it was a really cool scene. I thought it was done very well. I just found it weird how it was cut in with Andor escaping from the planet and other things. I thought that was a bit strange, but yeah. Anyway, very cool first 3 episodes of Andor. I'm really happy with them, and yeah, I'm glad I got to talk about it. You see, this just works so much better. I can ramble, I can talk with you guys. I could have spent like half my day working on editing a video together, but like it would not get many views. And I don't think this live stream got many views, but it's just nicer. I get to interact with you guys directly. Any of you who watched on the VOD, I never really check how many views the VODs get. Do they get a lot of views? Do you guys watch this later after the fact? I mean, this is only like what almost 40 minutes. All in all, that's not too much to ask, right? I don't know. And you can skip ahead. So yeah. Air Smart, is that helmet too shiny? Too shiny? I don't know. I mean, I gotta like polish it, I guess. You can see like the reflection of my light. Where is it? It's like right there. You can see the reflection of my light. It's right here. I got a nice ring light. It's really pretty. It has better lighting. It's more of a even lighting. But yeah. I'm glad we can talk about things, Iris Smart, and talk about our opinions. It is nice. It's nice to just discuss and hang out and chat. It's a good times. Agreeing with the thing I said. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry, guys. You guys put a lot of messages in chat, and I can't read all of them. But they are very nice. I do appreciate it. Can't wait for the rest of the season. Yep, without being hurtful. That's the thing. It's just very chill. It's a very chill environment. We get to talk about things, and we don't got to be mean. So it's nice. We have this little contained community where we don't got to worry about stuff like that. So, yeah. I love democracy. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Palpatine, they've mentioned him a few times. I'm curious to see if he'll actually show up in the show. I think it would be better if he doesn't, but I also would not mind if we get a scene of, like, Palpatine doing something, talking to Krennic or whatnot. But I do like how Krennic was like, I spoke to Emperor Palpatine, and I've assured him that nothing will get in the way of him having unlimited power. And I'm like, he said it. He said the thing. He said unlimited power. Unlimited power. It's just, it was funny. I'm glad they can put stuff in there. Like, again, it's funny, but it doesn't, it's not like, oh, hey audience, look, it was subtle. It was subtle. It made sense in the context, what they were talking about. It was done very well. So again, that's why I like the show. The show doesn't have to jangle the keys in front of me. It just says, hey, look, there's keys over there. Look at them if you want to. Whereas Ahsoka's like, ooh, look at keys. Look at keys. So cool. Hayden Christensen coming back for Andor for Ahsoka Season 2. Isn't that so cool? Jeez. Anyway. Yeah, Star Wars Celebration. Should we talk about that quick? Let's see. We have a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order manga adaptation. I never would have guessed that in a million years. That seems kind of cool. I've never purchased or read a manga, but if that comes out, I'll probably get that. That'd be cool. I really like Jedi Fallen Order. I guess do I have to learn Japanese to be able to read it? I don't know. The Maul show, I could not care less. Genuinely, I don't care. I'm so sick of Darth Maul. Why does he need to pop up in everything? Him showing up in Solo was the stupidest thing ever, but he just keeps showing up. I don't care. He's the guy who just looks cool and gets chopped in half. I don't care about him. I don't care about it. He keeps showing up and everything. I don't care about Darth Maul, guys. He's so annoying. He's not cool. I don't find him cool. Am I going to Star Wars Celebration? The next one is in LA in 2027. I very well could go to that. Probably. All things considered. I mean, because like I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 2 years. But hopefully still YouTube. That'd be cool. If I could go to LA and go to see Star Wars Celebration. I've never been to the West Coast that far out. So I'd do that, maybe. I would have to go to LA, though, and I heard that kind of sucks. Like, hopefully, hotels aren't too expensive in 2 years. I don't know. What do you think things are going to be like in 2 years, guys? I don't know. I don't think that far ahead. Anyway. Ba, ba, ba. What else? Did they announce anything else cool at Celebration? I feel like they announced some other stuff. I just didn't really care about it. I was mainly just looking to see what stuff they talked about with Andor. It was funny. I saw Alan Tudyk, who does the voice of K2SO, made a joke. He said something like, I proposed the idea of a K2SO spin-off series called K Too Fast, Too Furious or something, and like making a joke like that. Not that that was funny. But yeah, I liked watching all the actors talk about stuff. Daniel Logan and Tamara Morrison were there. They were funny. Anthony Daniels was there. He said some funny stuff. Anyway, did anything else happen in Celebration I forgot about? Oh, right, the Ryan Gosling movie. I think that's funny that Ryan Gosling is going to be in a Star Wars movie, but like seriously, Star Wars Starfighter? Guys, can we what's it with the most vague, like uncreative names, like The Mandalorian and Grogu? Like, come on, give us cool names. Can we get back to Star Wars The Last Jedi? It's dramatic. It's cool. Like, just going off the name alone, that gets you excited. Star Wars Starfighter. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's about a starfighter. Okay. I guess. There's not much to speculate there. It's not interesting, okay? I don't know. Like, what the heck, man? Maul Shadow Lord is a kind of a cool title. I'll give him that Maul Shadow Lord is a kind of cool title. But what's it gonna be about, man? Just Darth Maul being like, oh, I'm so mad at Kenobi for ruining my life. I'm gonna complain about Kenobi for the 100th time. Kenobi! That's all it's gonna be. That's all the show's gonna be, alright? I'm so sick of Darth Maul. Like, come on. Ugh. Anyway. What the heck? I don't know. Did anything else happen at Celebration? I don't know. It was in Japan. That was kind of cool. I saw like a vlog from there, and it looked like it was really busy. That's the thing is, like, you go there, there's people in cool costumes and whatnot. They announce some stuff. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, guys, look at this. I'm gonna grab this just a second. I spent a lot of money on this. I got an Indiana Jones hat. Look at this. It's a very nice hat. I mean, obviously, it's not meant to be worn on a Stormtrooper helmet, but it is a nice hat. I got this just for me. It's a very nice hat. It's very nice. Look at this. Ba 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 ba. The only problem is, like, nobody wears fedoras anymore. I can't wear this. I can't wear this outside. The only reason I have this is for the ever case where I need to dress up as Indiana Jones, because I got the jacket. I got a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I spent a lot of money on this. I don't know if I want to say how much I spent on this. There were ones that were way more expensive. This one was kind of middle of the range, but it was still expensive. It's a very quality hat. I like this hat. It's very nice. So yeah, I got an Indiana Jones. I've wanted one of these since I was a kid. So this was simply a, hey, I've got some extra cash. I'm gonna buy an Indiana Jones hat. So look at that. Can we appreciate this, please? It's very nice. I spent money on this. And I think, like, you gotta be careful with that, man. Like, you have to have it stored properly. You don't want it to, like, you gotta be careful with it. I don't know. I heard my phone go off. Did anything? Who's texting me? Oh, okay. That's well, I'll have to deal with that now. Anyway, end the live stream. It's nothing. Don't worry. I'm not ending it. I was gonna end it anyway. Anyway, this is the end of the live stream. So, all right, Revenge of the Sith is coming back into the theater. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go see it, guys. Look, I've seen it so many times. It's funny, but like, do I need to go to a theater to listen to like 30-year-old men go, this I am the Senate. I am the Senate. Yeah, hello there. And all the funny memes, guys. Like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to sit in a theater with a bunch of other people. Like, I don't know. It could be funny. It could be funny, but like, come on, man. I've seen it enough. All right, like, if it's a movie I actually really like Revenge of the Sith, I enjoy watching because it's funny and silly. I don't know if I want to see it in the theater though, because I'm gonna be surrounded by all the people who are like, oh my gosh, Anakin is the best character ever. I love Anakin Skywalker. I don't know. Maybe it won't be that bad. I don't know. Maybe I'll go. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, this is the end now. My voice is tired. Also, I should probably eat lunch. I need to eat something. I'm gonna make mac and cheese. I think that's what I usually make. Anyway, bye.